You're listening to The Best of Perry Gauthier, where we remember our friend and leader who was taken from us in this life in December of 2020. It is our hope that his memory lives on in the hundreds and thousands of people who he touched both in and outside of capitals in this country and around the world. We will be sharing interviews that Perry did for radio and television throughout the following weeks. Perry was always prepared to share the good news of Christ and God's love for politicians and people serving in the political realm. In today's podcast, Perry reacquaints us with the masculinity of God that has been lost in our wussified culture.
So just war, the theologian Augustine, however you want to pronounce it, he came up with this theory based on theology and biblical concepts. But by the time he came along, he kind of canonized and summarized these principles of just war. So when is war just? Some of the principles of just war is that it must be in just measure. So that if warfare and lethal weapons, because Romans 13:4 says government is a minister of God, punishing evil with the sword, it beareth not the sword for nothing, that's lethal power, punishing evil, even mass evil in the case of war, if I can apply that concept to this part of the discussion. So nations, part of the definition of a nation is you are able to defend yourself nationally and even protect yourself militaristically. So that's the sword. So back to just war. So it has to be in due proportion. So if arms have to be taken up and lives have to be ended, all killing is tragic, but all killing is not wrong. Otherwise, God is hypocritical to have given us these scriptures, to have so often throughout the Old Testament narrative, the 39 books of the Old Testament, and especially in the times of the sojourning and the kings and the judges, to have illustrated and led and condoned and even given victory in war. We might say, to import language from earlier, this is part of the masculinity of God. He, in fact, in Exodus 15:2, after Pharaoh and the horsemen are drowned in the sea, they cross the Red Sea, the sea closes on Pharaoh, big man, you're drowning now, aren't you? So all his army's drowning. Moses on the other shore sings a famous song in Exodus 15. It's called the Song of Moses. And he says, "The Lord is my strength and song, and he has become my salvation." Moses has been saved for decades. But after this warfare event, he has become my salvation. The horse and the rider he has hurled into the sea. The Lord is a warrior. The Lord is his name. So this fighting, killing, masculine part of God is a beautiful part of Christian theology, but in the wimpized, feminized, wussified, light Christianity of today, it's all but forgotten. But this is part of the way justice really is, the way God himself deals with governments and nations.
And next time on The Best of Perry, he will be detailing how God's wrath is meted out through the governments that he puts in place. So join us then, and in the meantime, re-listen and learn how you can lean into the masculinity of God in today's age and stop being a wuss.